Hi guys, so today let's talk about 5 signs that your cortisol levels are high. For people who don't know what cortisol is your stress hormones. And for some of you, you experience this high cortisol levels, but you don't even know what it is about. You don't know why you feel the way you feel. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you 5 symptoms of high cortisol levels. And as you all know, I share symptoms based on what I have experienced, what I have studied, what I have seen people go through. I'm not a health practitioner, neither am I a doctor. So this video is from personal experience, right? And from experiences of people that I have coached. And yeah, so let's get into the video. My name is Precious 𝐒𝐘𝐌𝐏𝐿𝐒, 𝐒𝐘𝐌𝐏 for short. And if you just see me for the first time, I make videos on PCOS, hormonal imbalance, infertility, and everything that there is to that topic. So now, 5 signs that your cortisol levels are high. 5 signs that your stress hormones is elevated, right? The number one sign that I feel when my cortisol level is high, and the number one sign that I have seen a lot of people go through when their cortisol level is high, is fatigue. Extreme fatigue. Being tired even when you're just waking up. Like you are tired for no reason. You know, you have done everything, you've rested, you just felt like, okay, you needed some rest, you've rested, but still you feel tired. That's extreme fatigue. It is something that happens a lot when your cortisol levels is high. So now, when you're experiencing extreme fatigue, what do? That is why I often tell people, increase your greens intake. If you take a lot of greens, these things will subside. It will not just help your cortisol, it will help with the tiredness that you feel and other symptoms that I'm going to mention in this video. So taking your greens like cucumber, green pepper, most times when I make my greens, I use cucumber, I use green pepper, I use parsley, I use celery and carrots, right? That's how I make my green juice. I blend them together and sieve and take. So for those of you who use juicers, you can just juice them and take every single day. And adding a little bit of ginger would go a long way to help too. So fatigue is like the number one symptom you feel when your cortisol level is high. Number 2 symptom is indigestion. Indigestion, otherwise bloating. You would be bloated. You know, your stomach would be big even when you are hungry. You still feel full, you still feel bloated. That feeling of fullness when you have had nothing to eat, you have not eaten anything, but you just feel full. It is a sign of high cortisol levels. When your stress hormone is high, you would feel bloated. Number 3 symptom is anxiety, depression. You will be depressed when your cortisol levels are high. If your stress hormone is high, you would definitely feel anxiety and depression. And anxiety and depression is something that happens a lot with PCOS. If you're struggling with PCOS, you would often struggle with high cortisol levels because they go hand in hand. And anxiety is something that would definitely happen to you if your cortisol levels are high. Now, how do you deal with anxiety and depression with high cortisol levels? Number 1, sometimes resting is not always enough, you know. Resting is not always enough. Now, you have to go an extra mile to change totally what you eat. You have to cut out sugar totally from your diet. Anything processed food, anything sugar would definitely make you wake up feeling anxiety and depression. And one thing about high cortisol is that, you know, in the morning when you wake up, it just hits you. Every symptom of the high cortisol level just hits you. It hits you really hard, you know, and it's not something that is very easy to deal with on your own. So the number 1 way to deal with this is by changing your diet and making sure that you are not eating anything that is that is highly processed or anything that is too high in sugar. So if your cortisol levels is high, sugar is not your friend. Sugar is your enemy, right? You are not supposed to eat anything processed at all if you have high cortisol levels and you're struggling with any of the symptoms that I'm mentioning. Number 4 symptom is moon face. Your face feeling swollen, you know. You often have that moon I don't know if I don't know if I would find a picture of me having moon face, and I'm going to put it up on this video so that you can see. Moon face is a very, very, very strong symptom of high cortisol levels. And if you experience moon phase, like I've said before, you need to take your greens, you need to check your vitamins level, you need to check if you're deficient in any vitamins that your body needs. You need to check all these things. You need to change your diet. You need to make sure that you are not taking sugar, because if your cortisol levels, or you're struggling with PCOS and you're indulging in sugar, definitely your cortisol will be high. And if your cortisol levels is high, moon phase is like it's something that you cannot avoid. You would often have this fatness in your face, feeling like you just woke up from sleep. That is the example of moon face. The feeling like you just woke up from sleep, like your face being a certain kind of way, right? Moon face is something that is inevitable if your cortisol levels are high. Moon face is like a symptom that I feel like moon face is like the number one symptom you get when your cortisol levels is high, For me, especially when my cortisol levels is high, I definitely, like, when I just wake up and see my face, I'm like, oh, my cortisol has gone up again, And another symptom of high cortisol levels is it could be infertility with women struggling with PCOS. Yes. If your stress hormones are high with PCOS, conceiving is almost impossible. It's almost impossible to conceive if you are stressed with PCOS. That is why we often tell women who are struggling with PCOS, or women who are trying to conceive, stop trying to conceive. Remove your mind from trying to conceive. Though it is not a very easy thing to do, but it is something that would help you for your peace of mind and your sanity. Because if you are not at peace with yourself, if your emotions is not in the right place, conceiving is almost impossible. That is why I often tell people, if you have PCOS, make sure that your mind is at peace. And sometimes with PCOS, your mind being at peace is not something you consciously do. It's something that you do from changing your diet. It's something that you do from alternating sugar, eating natural sweeteners instead of sugar. And even for natural sweeteners, you need to be very careful with PCOS. You do not always incorporate sweeteners into your diet. You should learn to do without sweeteners if you have PCOS. Now, I'm not talking for generally women who are trying to conceive. I'm talking for women who have PCOS, women who are struggling with high cortisol levels with PCOS. I don't think you need a lot of sweeteners in your journey, right? You do not, even honey, dates, all those things, you need to take them in a very, very low, in a very minimum quantity. Right? You need to be careful of how you take them. So if you're struggling with high cortisol levels and if you have any of these symptoms that I have mentioned, there could be a high chance, especially if you have PCOS, there could be a high chance that you're struggling with high cortisol levels. Right? And the number one way and proven way to deal with high cortisol levels is changing your diet. Cut out sugar, cut out processed foods like noodles and all these things. Make sure that you're eating more natural foods. You know that for some of us, especially for me as a person, being on a diet is not one of the easiest things that I do. But most times when I want to start my diet or when I want to go on a diet, I first cut out everything processed foods. I cut out pasta, I cut out noodles, I cut out fizzy drinks, and just incorporate normal, natural foods. And then reduce my portion size. Most times I notice that when I do these things, it helps my body generally, right? And by the time you're helping, you're trying to work on your body, you're trying to take the natural route, you're trying to take the healthier route, your cortisol levels would naturally balance. Okay, your cortisol levels will naturally balance. So if you're struggling with high cortisol, you're struggling with any of these symptoms, just make sure you are eating healthy. Make sure you are focusing on a healthy lifestyle, right? Because a healthy lifestyle will do would do better because you know, a lot of people, when they struggle with anxiety and the rest with their high cortisol levels, the first thing that they want to do is take anxiety medications. These medications will not do you good long term. Your long-term alternative should be eating healthy, incorporating your greens, and taking the right supplements that your body needs. Yes, not just any supplement, but the right supplement that your body needs. So I hope in this video, I've been able to educate you. I've been able to bring you to the awareness of the things you might be feeling in your body if your cortisol levels are high. And yeah, so if you feel any of these symptoms, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of these symptoms, you need to go get yourself checked and start taking the right steps to getting your body better, or to taking the right steps to healing your body, right? Because bloating can be very hard on you, fatigue, not knowing why you feel fatigue, not knowing why you are having anxiety and depression. It could be very, very hard. And for women who are trying to conceive, it's infertility can be a lot to deal with. So for some of you, you don't even have problems. You don't have any problems when it comes to your fertility journey. All you just need to do is to balance your cortisol levels and your body will be fine. So try incorporating greens in your diet, change your diet, cut out processed foods, eat more natural foods, take more natural healthy drinks instead of fizzy drinks and processed drinks, and your body will thank you. So if you're just seeing me for the first time, please click on the notification bell and share this video to somebody who you know is struggling with PCOS or who is struggling with infertility. Share this video to them because it might really, really do great for them. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to hit the thumbs up, to like this video so that more people who need to see this video would see it. Thank you.